So now you'll see at the top of your screen, it says it's being recorded.
Yep.
What I wanted to do is contact as many members of Doctors Hospital as possible to gauge interest in continuing with Toastmasters. I know that the club had been experiencing problems. Michelle had shared that that was one of the things that the executive committee for the club was examining, whether to continue. With COVID-19, that has added additional pressure to many clubs. So what we have been doing in our area is encouraging all the clubs that have members that still want to continue to participate in meetings with clubs that are in the area until they can bring their clubs back up to speed. That's one thing. The other thing is for those clubs that have fallen below the threshold of 8 members, figuring out what we can do to keep the club at what they call it as an open club or an active club within the Toastmasters system, so that when we do recover from this COVID-19 situation, you're still on the books and can continue as Doctors Hospital. So those were the two things I wanted to talk about, and also elicit from any of the club members what concerns you had, whether they wanted to continue, or if this was just, hey, I was actually on the fence anyway, and I've got what I need, and I'm not continuing with Toastmasters. So with that, I'll let you chime in on your thoughts on those two things, and then we can have a discussion.
Okay, and I guess I'm still the only member in the meeting right now. Is that?
Yeah, yes, you're the only one right now.
Gotcha.
But like I said, as a matter of fact, I think Michelle RSVP'd last night, and Toastmaster Malden, he had RSVP the day after I sent it.
Gotcha.
So they might pop in.
Yeah, I guess, for me personally, I still want to continue with Toastmasters. I think it's a great organization. I've got a lot to learn there. I would really like to continue that with the Doctors Hospital chapter. And I realized that our numbers had been fairly small, and as you mentioned, with COVID, it's really caused the club to struggle a good bit. So not sure how that helps, but I definitely intend to stay with Toastmasters. And like I said, if that can be with the Doctors Hospital group, then that's great. If not, then I'll probably find one of the groups in town. I had mentioned to Dick McCoppin, EPM, the other day, that if it was a matter of an issue with a meeting place or something like that, yeah, I've got a training room in my office that's literally right up the road from Doctors Hospital that we could look at that being a potential option as far as a location to meet. But then I guess the main problem is having the number of participants active in the club. So
Absolutely, because right now the club membership active members who are paid through 30 September is 5, and you have to be at 8. So if you got back up to the 8, you would be an active club and remain in the system as an active club. So it would just be a matter of getting 3 more members. And then you had mentioned meeting places. Toastmasters International had directed all the clubs to stand down because of their concerns for the health of many of the members until 1 June for in-person meetings. So that drove many of the clubs online, and many have been meeting online. As I had mentioned, several of the clubs have been meeting together. Augusta West, along with Charlie Norwood, and then CSRA 5051 has started meeting with Voices of Distinction. So there are lots of clubs out there if you're looking at continuing your projects until you get back into a in-person meeting. So, and are you on Meetup?
no, I'm not.
Okay. because all of the meetings that are online right now, we put them up on Meetup for many of our members. So there's one place you can go and find everything. And I'm going to put something up this week on District 14's page so that any member that wants to attend a meeting with a club that's conducting online meetings, you'll be able to find them on the website.
Okay.
So what? Yeah, go ahead.
Well, I guess what are the options, or what's the time frame for getting the additional 3 members? If Toastmasters is opening back up to in-person meetings in June, then that would at least give the 5 of us a chance to get together and say, hey, do we know 3 more people that we could get in and become active members to keep the club going?
Absolutely. And there's so June 30th is the cutoff
Okay.
to get back up to the 8. And as I looked at it, I remember saying, I think you, to meet your base, uh, you needed to get up to, correction, to meet your growth requirement, you needed to get up to 13. And if you got up to that number and completed 2 goals, you would actually end up distinguished. Uh,
Uh,
but that's another discussion. But I think that from the one time that I did visit the club, I know that there were several members that were working on projects, and I don't see them recorded. So I'm thinking that I know you probably have at least 2 more goals that probably are completed, but because of everything that's happened, you haven't been able to keep up with that and keep it recorded. And I know that from my own personal experience being a member of White Law Speakers, it's only showing 2 goals, but we have 3 people who finish projects and they just haven't gotten the stuff into the system because of what they've been grappling with at work. So
right.
I know you guys are probably in that same boat and recognizing that, hey, there are other things that are more important right now, but I don't want any of you to let an opportunity go by if you're really, really close. Uh, One thing that I would say is that if you do find out that uh, you know you're not going to make that anything above 8, I'd say just get to the 8. Don't try to do anything heroic because you'll set yourself up for the next year to get to that 13 and achieve an even better goal by bringing in new members, getting them to complete their aspirational goals, and then helping the club to achieve.
Right.
So I guess this conversation is, as far as the club, yes, you want to continue, and I do know that also Michelle, she wants to continue, she wants the Doctors Hospital uh, Club to continue as an organization, and I fully support that, and I'll do what I can to help you all with finding people who are interested in joining club. As a matter of fact, I have 6 people who want to start a club on Fort Gordon. But what I think I'm going to tell them is, hey, you know, here's an opportunity to get on in a club where you can start right away and get your you can get started and not have it feel overwhelming because you're in a big club, which happens to many members. They get in a big club, and many of those folks, they want to push them right in to get in their projects. Whereas with a small club, you can pace yourself while learning the system.
Sure. Yeah, I mean, if there's anything that I can do to help the Doctors Hospital Club continue, I'm glad to do that. I could do a little recruiting myself and see if there's a few folks that might be interested in joining. I think that it's a little tough to do that when you're not having the in-person meeting. In my opinion, maybe I'm wrong, but for somebody, I'm not very uh, technically gifted.
You know, you're exactly right. It is difficult to grow when in the virtual environment when you have not been active in the environment. I will tell you though that one of our older clubs, Greene County, and I mean older in years and
Right.
members, they are thriving on Zoom. Uh,
Wow.
and it's interesting because I had actually started working with them, even though they weren't in my area, uh, about 2 months before this all hit to get them online. They were active and ready to do it. And they were perfectly positioned when all this hit because they had already done the research. They had started reaching out to people. So when they had their first meeting, it was just packed with people who were interested in Toastmasters in their area, and they're actually going to end up growing this year.
Wow.
So if you're able to if you're positioned where you're able to find people who are interested and really didn't have the time to attend in person before, and now with the flexibility that Toastmasters is giving us through the rest of the year, not just through June, but through the rest of the year for online meetings and online participation, it's an opportunity to grow. And if technology is the barrier for you, don't let that inhibit you because I've helped several clubs get online. I've helped 5 clubs get online, and I can tell you that the age ranges from 60 up to close to 80 as far as the members, and they are actually online doing their meetings now.
Great.
So don't let that inhibit you. I, I, I've done some online training on this platform, Teams. I have another team that's done a Zoom training, and that's actually going to be in the newsletter tomorrow. I'm putting that video up on our website as well as in our MailChimp mailer that goes out tomorrow. There'll be a link in there and the video embedded on how you can sign in. You don't need to buy an account. You can get a free account to Zoom. How to conduct a meeting in Zoom, uh, doing the various roles of timer, do your best speaker, evaluator, and table topics, votes. So we've managed to get some guidance from Toastmasters International and some resources to help with this period where we're online, but also to help when we have potential participants online when we're having our in-person meetings as well. So we can have that hybrid in the future.
Oh, nice. That sounds good.
Okay, excellent. So yeah, I'm glad that you were able to dial in. I will send a copy of this video with an email to all of the members. I'll invite them to another session on your next regular meeting day. And my hope and expectation is that they'll get maybe motivated about what we talked about here. And I'll talk directly to all of you who are watching the video. If you're watching the video, we are here to support you and take the. I ask you to take the opportunity or give us the opportunity to help you during this period where we're online, to get you online to continue your Toastmasters journey. But don't let the technology be a barrier during this period because we can take you through incrementally how to get online, how to use the various tools, and I guarantee you that it'll be something that will be refreshing when you go through the experience. Many of the Toastmasters who've gone online found it a little bit more motivating for them to actually do their projects because they've conquered another skill
Sure.
by getting online.
Great. I
All
appreciate
right.
you. up the call, and thank you for the information and the support.
Absolutely. Thank you for dialing in, and I'll talk to you soon.
Thank you.
All right, out here.